Hey guys, it's Shanda. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to talk about this "it's a lot" conversation that's going on in many of our lives. So are you walking around the day and you find yourself saying, "Oh, it's a lot." Like it's a lot right now. Do you find yourself saying that on a regular basis? Hi, you guys, as you're joining. Hi, Carla Diane. Hi, Lexi. Hi, Lexi. Howdy, howdy. Hi, you guys on Instagram. How are you? Okay, I want to talk about something this morning, and I think it's really important. It is a complete game changer in the way that you run your life and your business. So over the last 30 days, I was just writing this out. I was literally just writing this out this morning, and I found myself talking about this with my clients yesterday, because here's what happens. I show people how to build a business, and they start getting successful at it, and when they start saying things like, it's a lot, like it's a lot. And then I'm like, you've been saying that since the day I met you, it's a lot. So yes, it's a lot. If you're going to keep growing, it's going to keep being a lot. If you're going to have more kids, if you're going to buy a house, if you're going to buy a car, if you're going to be in a marriage, if you're going to endure any great athletic challenge in life, it's going to be a lot. If you're training for the Olympics, you're not just kind of half-assed training, and your life is the frickin' Olympics. You know what I mean? Like, your life's the most important thing that you can ever, ever, ever do in your life. It's not even the people that you fall in love with or your family. It's your life. Like, your life is so freaking precious. It's incredible how much we don't think about the actions that we're taking on a regular basis. So yes, it is a lot. But if you're saying that on a regular basis throughout the week, then you are absolutely crushing your ability to create extraordinary results in your life. So listen to this. I know it's a lot. In the last 30 days, I've gotten a tax bill that is about the price of, almost the price of a Ferrari for the quarter. I've gotten an extra bill for the demolition of my house that was not covered in the construction loan. I just finished the zone event, which is, well over $100,000 investment in that, cash, no financing. I had an extra $50,000 that I had to pay in the last 30 days, actually in the last 7 days, actually, to be quite honest, that was helping other people, $50,000 helping other people. I had another $12,000 bill that came up to help a client of ours get into rehab. And I had, my dad's car broke, and so I sent them extra money. My mom's insurance policy, to make sure that when she's old, if she gets sick, no matter where my life's at, in case something happens in my life, that she's insured to go into a home or get medical care or whatever, so that she lives a good retirement if something happens medically. It is time now I cannot put it off any longer. Our advisors want to meet about my son's trust that I'll be committing to on a regular basis for his future. All of our asset protection things are all due in the next 30 days. It's a lot. It's a lot. Like, all of it's a lot, right? And as I'm saying all of this, I'm like going like this saying, yep, yep. And so you and I, we feel the same thing. We absolutely feel the same thing. Like, shit happens, right? Like, and isn't it funny how like when there's like a money crunch, it's like everything comes forward at the same time. Or when there's like a stressful moment in your business, it's like all of the hardest things in your life come due. Like, it's like your husband or your wife needs your time. They're feeling neglected. Your business needs your attention. You've got big visions and dreams that you're trying to create, and you just want to work. You just want to spend the time and work, but there's like all these things pulling on you. And so these are, people have heard me say this a million times, but these are tests in life. You walk around your day saying it's a lot on a regular basis, you prevent yourself from growing to the next level, right? Like, think about it. Do you have somebody in your life that you can trust with absolutely anything? Like, you know that you could give them anything and they can figure it out. Like, you just trust them. They just always do. And then do you know the people in your life that, and hopefully you do have somebody like that in your life. If you don't, then it's really time to reassess who you're spending your time with, right? But do you have somebody in your life that you know that you really can't give more to, like a brother, a sister, a good friend that is always late, or they're always under stress, and you just wouldn't want to do that to them. You wouldn't want to reach out to them and add another thing onto their plate to help you with anything, because really they're handling a lot. And so what I'm trying to get through to you right now is, if you want people to refer business to you, don't be saying things like, it's a lot right now, because people feel guilty giving to people who are under massive amounts of stress. Like if you're a CEO of a company and you're running a vision in the world, if you constantly feel overwhelmed and tired and you're telling everybody about that on a regular basis, all you're actually telling them is you are running a really poor strategy for success. So I handle more today than I've ever handled in my entire life. Like you saw the laundry list of a lot. But, I was sitting on the couch with Ash last night, and I said to him, I was telling him how I was talking to my clients about this yesterday. And I said, he said, you just have a way of being able to hold pressure. And I'm like, no, I was a hot mess when I started my business. I was a stress case about every man I dated, didn't text message me fast enough, didn't there's just like a laundry list of things that I wasn't good at, things that I never, I shared yesterday on Coffee with Shanda, all the unproductive days sitting at Starbucks, and at the end of the day, still having no money to actually prove for the amount of effort that I spent in a day. I mean, I never was great at this. I developed a way to be able to handle pressure so that people would refer me more business, that people would trust me more. The number one person that people come to when there's a breakdown financially is somebody who is financially free. Why is that? Well, because they create a list of people that they think are capable. So what I'm trying to get inside your mind is, if you want more financial freedom, if you want more great staff to help support your vision, if you want better friends, then you have to stop and just say to yourself, what is the dialogue that you're saying on a regular basis? Are you saying things like, it's a lot, to people that you love and care about all the time on a regular basis? And if you are, I'm telling you, I would not trust you with my trainings. I would not trust you with my clients. I would not trust you with my son. I would not trust my son with a nanny who had a conversation of, it's a lot. My nanny starts work at 6 a.m. in her regular job that we're training her on inside of Hardcore, right? Then she comes to work at 3 o'clock, 2:45, and she works with me until 7 o'clock as the nanny. And then often on her way home in an Uber, because she doesn't have a car, she's actually, doing calls and coaching and helping. So my point in sharing all that with you is, I never hear my nanny say, holy shit, it's a lot. If I opened up the dialogue with her and said, wow, I'm handling a lot right now, that's a different dialogue. I'm handling a lot right now is a different energy to it than, holy shit, it's just a lot right now. If I opened up that dialogue with her, she would tell me that she's handling a lot. But I've never heard her in 3 years or 2.5 years, I've never heard her once complain about work. Not once. And I have Sasha Sterling as my clients. I've heard her once say, holy shit, and I've seen her cry once while she was working through a hard moment, with the understanding that there's a light at the end of the tunnel and she's going to reach it, right? Christy Miller, one of my clients, goes from nothing to winning my Porsche this year and she has a great marriage. No wonder she has a great marriage, right? Because I never hear her sit there and complain about it's a lot. But yet there's a whole group of people that, undermine the coaching or undermine their own lives, right? And that's what I want you to hear, undermining your own lives, because you're having this dialogue that it's a lot. So let me help you. If it's a lot in your business right now, go ahead and post What's a lot and what are you trying to create in like 3 sentences so I can read it. Because what that will do is I can help you with a strategy. So if you're burning out in your business or your life, then your strategy is that you need to put, you don't need better boundaries, like you probably do, but I hate the word boundaries, because when people tell me they need boundaries, it's actually because they have actually a strategy and a habit in their life of burning themselves out. And so they have to fight stronger to create, stop, I need my time. I want you to be in ease. So before I went into the zone event that I recently just did, I took a week off before the zone event and I took a week off after the zone event, right? I worked 7 days straight doing 6 days of events, actually 7 days of events in 7 days. Okay, so that's like a lot. It's a lot, right? It's a lot. But you never heard me say that once in those 7 days. I put my head down and I rocked it out and I served and I gave everything I got. But I took a week off beforehand. So I actually, on day 5 of leading events, I was surprised at how much energy I had. And that's a product of a good self-care strategy. Now, if you constantly say, I need self-care, I need self-care, I need self-care, and your friends around you have heard you say that more than once in 2 years, you have a bad strategy going on in your business. You shouldn't need to work so hard to create self-care. It should just be a strategy. So here's some of the things that I do. I'll ask my assistant to book fun days or date days with my husband, right? I have a rule of certain flex time. I've coined a phrase called flex time. Sometimes you may have heard some of my clients talk about that. That is something I've taught them. Flex time is where I have regular time off that no matter what's going on in my life, because remember, my emails never stop. In fact, somebody actually got mad at me a day before yesterday because I had not responded to a post in Instagram from May that I never saw, and told me I was fake because of the fact that I didn't have the self-respect to respond to this person when they responded to me, because they would respond to everybody's post that ever sends them posts on social media. And I said, I'm really sorry you're angry at me because of that, but honestly, I get a lot of posts a day and I do my best to respond to them. But at the end of the day, when my phone goes in a box, and I'm with my son, and like sometimes I'll take it out to check something really quickly, and if I do and I see a text message, I'll respond to it. That's why my phone goes into a box, because I don't have the self-discipline to not be on my phone all night if it's sitting beside me. I've got to put it in a box. The minute I take it out of the box, there I am again, back into my cell phone. Right? So this is a self-discipline rule that I have so that I spend time with my son. I played with my son on my bed last night and yesterday and laughed my ass off with him. That is a product of good self-care and good disciplines and strategy inside your life, right? Taking a week off before the event, taking a week off after. The most important time to follow up with potential clients of yours is after a webinar, after event. Why do I take the time off? Because I built systems inside my business for other people to handle those moments so that I can do my job and put on my hat and lead, present, coach, and I work with a team of people that I've built. Now, when I started my team, I did not have the money to hire people. So what I would do is hire someone, which lit a fire under my ass, to work to pay for that person. So this is where I spoke yesterday, about the importance of good mental strategy and risking in the right way and not being worried about debt. Or I have clients who paid off $300,000 in debt in like a year and a half and still have money in the bank, right? So anything you want is possible, but are you willing to risk enough, change your thinking in a way to set yourself up to win? So what's the strategy that you need in your life right now so that you can not be saying things like it's a lot, right? It's a lot. Okay, so go ahead. You can ask me any questions. So, Jerry, a lot is stuck on lack and clarity of decision making. Yes, that's part of it. Trusting in myself and perfectionism. It worries me. I see lack of confidence too, a vicious cycle. Yeah, so Jerry, the only thing I can say to you is, first of all, you can private message me and I can talk to you about your leadership. You're welcome to do that. It might take me a day or two to get back to you, but you're welcome to do that. And I can give you some private coaching around some strategy around that, because that's all personal development. That's all personal leadership. So when the way that you unhook from perfectionism is to literally have a new rule inside your head that says it's good enough. It's good enough, right? So I know I'm never going to be great at anything the first time I do it. In fact, I tell my clients and my team, as we're learning something, so let's just take a sales cycle, right? Like we do 3-month sales cycles where we focus on sales. The reason why we do 90 days is because we will tend to burn out after 90 days. So we need a break, right? So we don't sell, we don't have somebody selling for 5-6 months straight on the same tempo. Now we are going into a sales cycle now in Heartcore where we're now doing a lot of international markets as we expand this brand. And so we are moving to a 7-day-a-week sales cycle, 365 days a week. But that doesn't mean that one salesperson is going to sell on a huge tempo for all of that time. They're going to have the same disciplinaries put into their life as in mine, where they've got flex time that is mandatory for them so that they are highly producing people inside of our organization. However, in a sales tempo, we recommend that you focus on one thing that you get really good at so that you're not focusing on too many things that causes burnout, mental burnout, right? So let's say follow-up, get really good at your follow-up in a 90-day sales cycle. So if you just have that one thing to focus on, then you can stop stressing about getting good at the front end of your sales, right? So you can stop feeling bad about when people say no, and you can just focus on the back end and get good at a follow-up series. Right? So take the pressure off yourself, Jerry, so that you need to know that you can master any habit in your life and turn it around if you focus on it in a small, intense period of time. The problem is people have this mentality that they can have everything right now. I mean, I was taught in leadership. In leadership years ago, I was taught that you could have you can have everything right now. You can have it all. And that is at a massive sacrifice. So yes, you can, but it is at a massive sacrifice. And I do not subscribe to that. I look at people who say that, and if they're very fortunate in life, they might make $1 million a year. They don't nearly have the lifestyle that I have, right? So I took off 4.5 months last year, 4.5 months, and still grew my company massively. Still got to be a good person to my clients. I have never been in the conversation of my clients are a pain in my ass, right? Which I've seen people say that, like, oh, I got that client that sucks, or and that is a product of you not having enough energy to deal with those people. So if you're working a schedule that's 7 days a week, for God's sake, stop it. Stop it. And don't ever let anybody tell you that you should work a calendar like that. I saw my husband up until 10 o'clock last night, like coaching, and I'm sitting there going, that's fucking insane. I would never do that, right? I would never do that, ever. That is just not, it's not sustainable. And it's not what is the lifestyle that people as an entrepreneur ever go out to create, right? And so be careful who's influencing your mind. Be careful who's influencing your mind, and make sure that you're putting strategies inside your life that allow you to have a life. Because at the end of the day, it is so important that you make sure that you live a good life. So there are moments that you're going to push. There are. But even in the moments that I push, I'm still done work by 4. Even in the moments that I push, even in my build of Heartcore business, I was still done work by 4. I still took off weekends every weekend. Every weekend. I think I've worked 2 days in this entire year on the weekend, and it was right after the zone event. And that was a choice. I would never, ever normally do that. That is the first time I've worked a weekend in I don't know how many years. I just don't work weekends. So no matter what you're pushing, make sure you manage be careful who's managing your mind, because people can get inside your mind and say things like, you can have it all right now. And that is at a serious sacrifice in your life. When you have it all right now, that means that your personal care will completely get shot. Your business will go down because people who are too busy don't make money. Your relationships will start breaking up because you won't be intimate. And so what I recommend is you focus on one thing at a time. And you build out your having it all vision, one vision at a time. And you'll find that over the course of a year or 2 years, your entire life will be something that you've always dreamed of. So I'll leave you on that note. Make sure that you stop saying, it's a lot. It's a lot. Stop saying those words. Look in your life at what's causing that dialogue and ask for help. You can ask me for help. Send me a private message. I may take a day or two to get back to it. If I don't answer it, somehow I didn't see it, send it back to me. Send it back to me. Commit to getting your answer, and I will help you succeed. You're one strategy away from having the life that you want, and I really believe that. All right, you guys. I'll see you soon on Coffee with Shanda tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. And in fact, tomorrow, I will actually teach you how to track your moods in a way to be able to make more money, be more highly efficient, and have a better life. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.